So we're trimming on some galas. These are bud 9 on, I want to say, a 5x15 spacing. This is the block I rented, took over. It's got a lot of dead trees, some winter injury. The trimming that they did really wasn't correct. It was kind of a messed up block. This is my 3rd year with it. I've been trying to build back the structure of the trees. Something like this, they're just so weak. You know, it doesn't matter. A tree like this, I put extra calcium nitrate on to try and help push it. Nothing. I've tried scion rooted it. It's one of them things. You deal with what you got. But for the most part, the block is very productive. I think this year it's about I want to say it's about an acre. It produced about 75 bins. You know, I know it could be better, but it could be worse. I really like a tree like this for my angles. I'm just leaving a lot of the thin stuff. These canopies don't get very crazy. This isn't a red strain gale, these are Pacifics, but I still get really good color. So I leave them a little bit hairier than I maybe should, but this is on some pretty good ground. Right now I'm just doing the bottoms. So I'm gonna come back through here with the tower and knock some of these tops off. I got the INFACO pruners. That's what I use a lot with trimming all this now. They're awesome. I can reach basically 3/4 of the tree, and then I come back and do the tops of the tower. It's real quick. Most of these trees are about 12 feet tall. These goldens over here are a little bit taller. The John Golds on this side of the block are a little bit taller. Those are processing blocks. This block mainly goes for fresh market. But on a year that maybe wouldn't color so well, it can go processing too. I've had people ask why we trim apples though. First off is to thin down the bud count. It's our first start of thinning for the year. But it also, we get rid of any diseased branches, broken branches, make sure no branches are shading each other out. So we get the sunlight in the tree. The sunlight in the tree helps develop buds year after year. Also for fresh market varieties like this, making those cuts and leaving these trees open more, trimming every year, helps get the color if the color for that variety for packing. Galas you do. Now we're in some bigger, more standard trees, and these we trim for a whole different reason. Exact same reasons we do for the high density trees, but in here these are golden, so I don't care about color. But as you can see, these trees are very big. When this is all full of leaves, these trees are really dense. So here's some trimmed ones, not trimmed. We open all this up this way to spray. We're coming down this row. I'm penetrating through this entire tree on both sides, getting every part of this tree covered with the sprayer. Because if you have all that, if we didn't trim this and this was all blocked with leaves, you're gonna miss areas of this tree, and that leads to disease, bugs, and bad quality apples. And that's not what you want to see in a store. You want the best of the best, and that's what we're here to try and deliver as growers. And again, you know, it's back to the crop load management. We need these trees to produce year in and year out. So you trim these hard, well, along this tree, I'm gonna get a lot of growth. That growth, I get apples on 2 to 3 year old wood. So me constantly cutting, I'm constantly renewing the branches, renewing the growth. And that gives me apples year after year. On these big trees, you know, we're not really doing renewal cuts. And you know, like some of this guy's doing, like this one right here where he tipped this. I don't like that. You know, it's just I'm seeing right now. I don't like these tips. That invigorates this branch, but all these buds right here, these aren't apple buds. These are just vegetative buds. This is gonna be leaves. So he needs to leave some of that. So we'll to talk with him tomorrow. But at the end of it all, one of the most important things in the season is trimming, because it's the start of the foundation of the tree. I mean, this time of year is important for us. I mean, like right now, me walking through here, seeing how he's trimming, you know, seeing how I didn't like those tips. Now down here, you can see they get a little bit thicker than they were when we were down here. I let him trim so many, and I said, I need you to lighten up. These are processing trees. I'm not here looking for color, but I need buds, especially because this block had a extremely heavy crop this year. So the chances of it coming back aren't really that good. So I need to leave as many buds as possible. You know, some of this in here, this is all dead. And some of that dead stuff is from when you get a lot of this, you get a lot of just branches clumping up in one area, you get a lot of shade. That shade, branches start to die. So you have to cut some of that. You have to thin these trees out, thin the middles out so there's nothing here. I want more of the apples on the outside of the tree. That's where the sunlight is, where the better quality apples are. But I gotta pair that with how fast my guys are trimming. You know, how much we're spending on trimming on a per acre basis. That way, you know, it's still a business. I need them to be moving as quick as and efficiently as possible to get this done, because we got a lot of acres to cover. Unfortunately, we still use a lot of ladders. Towers are really expensive. We haven't seen a super good payout with them as of yet. But that's something, you know, we're looking for in the future with these bigger trees. High density and more platforms and everything. But that's just kind of a small base on why we actually trim, why we spend all this time every year cutting out all this wood just to chop it back.